Hi, are you over 60 and you want to figure out a way to make some extra income and you don't want to disturb your retirement vibe and you don't want to overwhelm yourself? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to pick and choose a side hustle for you. We're going to take a look at your passions. We're going to take a look at your experiences. We're going to take a look at your hobbies, or maybe just something you've been always interested in. Could be something as simple as you love to cook, you love to bake, you love to crochet, you love working in the garden, okay? You love trimming bushes, you love dogs and cats, and maybe you could sit for them or take care of them. Any of these ideas could turn into a side hustle. Now, depending upon how much time you have, some of those require you to be there, and there are others where you create an idea, do something as simple as write an ebook, and we can show you how to do that, and develop sales from that and consulting from that. It might be some past work that you do, okay? So there are a lot of things we're going to cover in this video today. Whether you're retired on Social Security or just looking to boost your income, this is your chance to make money doing something you love. Hi, I'm Greg Colosi. I'm 68 years old, and I've started 33 plus companies. I say plus because I stopped that about 5 years ago, and I've probably started another half a dozen since then. Now, when I say I start a company, I actually start the company. And what I do first is I spend a minimal amount of money. Whatever you do, don't spend a fortune, okay? Let's test your idea first. And there are ways to do it inexpensively, okay? You want to test that idea and see if it sells. So my last company, I was a dry cleaner. My last big company, let's put it that way. I was a dry cleaner, and I had a dry cleaning pickup and delivery route. I did not own a plant. I went to a plant and made a deal with the owner, a wholesale deal with the dry cleaning. And over 5 years, I built it up to about $20,000 a month in revenue, and about 8 of that fell to the bottom line, okay? And then I married my wife. She came over from Germany, and she needed something to do. So this was, early 2000s. I mean, there was email and text was hardly anything. So I had just attached a flyer to all my outgoing dry cleaning and said that we now have a house cleaning service. I explained that it was going to be my new wife, and, I back it up and da-da-da-da-da. Within a month, she had enough business to clean 2 houses Monday through Friday. So 10 cleans a week. Then it was only $100, so that's $1,000, and expenses, isn't much, okay? So that was $4,000 a month, or 48,000, plus the 8 times 8 is 64. So over $100,000 in a little business like that in a short period of time, okay? So these are the kinds of things that you can do. I've had a lot of experience at building businesses. Now, most of those businesses did not make it. Notice I didn't say the word fail. Well, because I don't look at them as failures, okay? I learned more from the companies that didn't make it from the ones that did make it, okay? Success does not breed learning, okay? It's when you fail is when you learn. Now, the way that I do it now is I fail minimally on the way to success. And no matter what you do, you're going to have these failures, or I like to call them setbacks or hiccups or tests, okay? I remember a sales letter that I wrote for this dry cleaning pickup and delivery business. It was a 8-page letter that we attached to a empty vinyl garment bag, and we hung it on people's doors. They would read this, okay, and then decide whether or not they'd want to become a customer or not. And 5 out of every 100 did. And you might think 5 out of 100, that's not much. Well, in the business of direct marketing, that's a lot, okay? There's no selling involved. You can get somebody and pay them minimum wage plus a bonus, okay, to go put these out, a couple, 200-300 of these out a week, and you've got 10, 15 new customers every single week. So to write that sales letter, it took me 18 months of headlines, testing. And finally, I got it to work, okay? And it got us all those customers. I used to get it by knocking on doors. So now we got them where I didn't have to go out and knock on doors. We could have somebody drop these bags off and still get a boatload of customers coming in. And then I took that idea of these bag drops where I wrote the sales letter and I sold that to dry cleaners, and then ended up making twice as much as the other business. Now, I sold the dry cleaning pickup and delivery business about 7 or 8 years ago because my son didn't want to continue with it. And I wish I would have kept it because it keeps you fresh, keeps you new ideas, and I could have found somebody to run it. But anyway, all started slowly and with very little cash. When I started my dry cleaning pickup and delivery company, I used my Grand Prix, my car, until I proved the concept. I didn't go out and buy a big van, okay, invest in lettering and all these things, okay. I spent $200 on, I think, about 50 bags, okay, 50 garment bags with my logo on it. And I went to Fiverr and spent maybe $10 to get a logo. And that's how I started out, okay. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get started. Okay, what is a side hustle, and why a side hustle after 60 years old? Well, the benefits of having a side hustle at your age, at our age, is the extra income, okay? I don't know about you, but my hobby is golf. You can see all these golf clubs behind me, okay? I've been to St. Andrews 8 times, and I belong to a country club, and I play a lot of golf, and I go on about 8 golf trips a year. That little hobby costs a fortune. So without my continued income, you could call them side hustles because I don't work full-time at them, okay? Generate enough to take care of all of that stuff plus, okay? And there's the mental engagement. It keeps you sharp as a whistle, okay? I am learning new things every single day. Not only on how to do things or technology, okay? We're shooting this YouTube video. I had no idea what to do these kinds of things. Well, I learned, okay? I paid somebody to teach me, and now I am doing it. This is my, I think, 8th or 9th video that I've shot, okay? And let's see, the mental engagement and a purpose. Okay, a purpose, a reason to get up every single morning, okay? Unfortunately, a lot of people that retire because they were in a job they didn't like all 40 years, okay? 30, 40 years. They did not like, and they just kept dreaming about when they retire, okay? And the last thing you want to do is work. Well, this, and I don't know how you feel, okay? But I'm just surmising that you don't want to work because you had a lousy boss, okay? You had to be there at a certain time. You had to ask for vacations. You had to ask for time off to go to the doctor, okay? And if a friend called you the night before and said, hey, let's go do this tomorrow, you just couldn't take the day off. I've done that my whole career. So that's what it's been like for me. I've been, I guess you could say, semi-retired. There were times in my life where I worked full week, but for the most part, probably 25, 30, sometimes 20, sometimes 10 a week. But then there were weeks that I worked 60 because I had a project I had to get going. But I never booked the time or thought about the time because I was enjoying it. There was such a fine line between my work and my play. I enjoyed my play just as much as I did my work, or vice versa. Vice versa. Vice versa. I enjoyed my play just as much. I enjoyed my work just as much as my play. Okay? So that's what these kinds of things, and you've probably always thought, when I retire, I'm either going to do nothing, or if you're watching this video, you're probably one of those that said, when I retire, I'm going to do this. Okay? And that is the thing that you ought to be doing. Okay? And I can help you do that. Tell me right now, down in the comments, what is the business that you want to start? What have you been thinking about while you've been working for the big boss, okay, that you're going to start on your own? And we'll start a little dialogue, okay? Okay, next. No prior experience is needed for most side hustles, okay? I came out of the box, had no idea about dry cleaning, okay? And there were ones before that, my very first company, okay? You're my age or close to it. You probably remember back in the day when long distance was AT&T and Ma Bell, and that was it, okay? Well, back then, there was AT&T, Ma Bell, MCI, and Sprint. MCI was the first company to break away, okay? And they did it with microwave lines, and they had a limited service to the major cities, and it was about 50% less than Ma Bell or AT&T. I worked for MCI, and selling that service was a piece of cake. So I had the idea that maybe I could do that, and I saw an article in Entrepreneur Magazine. I read the story, called the guy that started it on the phone. He was in Dallas, Texas, invited me down, spent a week for nothing. He just wanted to help spread the word, and we stayed friends throughout all of that. And I started a long-distance phone service here in Rochester, New York, in June of 1980. And that's exactly when AT&T freed up all of their lines. They could resell them, and so did Ma Bell. And at the time, we were reselling MCI service. So I quit MCI and then became a competitor of theirs, okay? Started that business without a nickel, okay? And one day I'll tell the story, but it ended up selling for $1.1 billion after I was gone for quite a while, okay? So second bedroom in my apartment, $1.1 billion. So this starting small stuff works, okay? And today, it is easier than ever with all the technology that we have to start your own business, to start your own side hustle. There are